Well, obviously they're a really good club, and having watched them twice, I watched the game and the replay. They're they do all phases really well, and they do a great job of keeping people from scoring, and they're a very good lineup. Conforto obviously is one of the best hitters in the country, and he might not be the best hitter in their lineup, because they got other guys around him. So certainly, we're going to have to pitch those guys, and we're going to have to play a complete ball game. And it all starts with getting off to a great start. And is it Kendall? Who is it? We don't know yet. We'll know that this afternoon. We'll sit down and we'll talk about it. But certainly, we do have some options there. And I guess with their offense, you got to hope the wind's blowing in again, like it was last night.
Is there something they do that you see in person that maybe doesn't show up on tape?
Yeah, I mean, what they do is they have so much poise. When you play in a program that's won national championships, you feel that poise. You say, this is done before me. This can be done. It has been done. These kids play relaxed. They have fun with the game, and they're good. They know that. So, it'll be a tremendous challenge for us. But every game in Omaha is a tremendous challenge because everybody who's coming into here is hot. Every team has experience. Every team has poise. But it's fun to watch them play because they're a really talented group.
When you make your decision on your starting pitcher, is it more about the matchup against them, or is it going to be more about what you see from your guys today?
Well, I think you have to have a guy on the mound who can control a running game, and you have to have a guy who can do a great job defensively with bunts. And certainly we do have some options here. I think Ben Bracewell is somebody who might be a nice matchup for him as well. But Kendall's probably our best in that area. I think you got to force him into early contact, because if you don't, you get deep into it. That allows more of the running stuff. And, again, they just don't make mistakes offensively or defensively.
John, your team, I think, has won 10 straight one-run games. You've had like 8 comeback wins in the last month and a half. Does that kind of help them keep their head, a few days off?
Yeah, but I don't think that's unique for us. I think if you look at runs through Omaha, or even to Omaha, there's a whole bunch of them. I mean, my goodness, you look at North Carolina's games. I mean, they're epic. I mean, I think it's so close at this level when you get through regionals and super regionals. I mean, the margin of error is so small that you're going to have a ton of one-run games, and I think every team this tournament has been very efficient one-run games. I think so. Yeah, I think that our kids are confident one-run games, and they are confident we can come back and win baseball games. But certainly, I think every team in this field feels that way.
So, what common trait do you see kind of running through that thread of all those close wins with this team?
I just think it's the belief that they think we're going to win. I don't think we look to one guy. I don't think our kids on the bench are saying, man, if so-and-so doesn't get a hit here, we're not going to win this game. I mean, everybody from, Ammo hitting a grand slam at A&M in the 9-hole, was the SEC Player of the Week, to what Henderson did the other night, to what Wes has done. I just think it's a different person every night, and I think that's the mark of a great ball club, is not to have to feel like all of your eggs are in one basket.
Playing and coaching here, this program's history as much as anyone, and that 85 team is kind of the gold standard. You guys have matched them with the 2 wins. What does that mean to you?
Well, it means a lot. Certainly, I idolize those guys coming into Mississippi State. The Will Clark, Jeff Brantley sent me a text this morning. All those guys have texted and just been super. I think it's great. I think what else is great is I think even our players, as young as they are, they have an appreciation for that. I mean, a lot of their parents were probably in college in 1985. It's not necessarily a generation ago, but you have to kind of search a little bit if you're a baseball player to really know a lot of information about those guys. And here we are. We had Burke Masters, who got us to Omaha in '90 with a grand slam against Florida State, and our players look at him, they're like, hey, that's the guy that hit the grand slam, in '90. I mean, again, that's before any of them were born. I think they all have an appreciation for that. So your questions about the '85 team, I think we all appreciate who they are. And really, I think in some ways that is the team that catapulted Mississippi State onto the national scene.
Is that kind of a nice thing too, as you guys advance further and kind of rewrite your history? they're learning about all those teams that maybe came before them, and in that sense?
Well, I think, from the minute you step on campus, we kind of put that in your face. We put all the big leaguers on the wall. We put all the teams that made it to Omaha on the wall. And we're constantly interjecting those names and teams because we want them to have an appreciation for that and, an appreciation for those who came before them. That's what tradition's all about.
In that same vein, do you tell this team that, the 2 wins so far, I guess, matter little? They have to win that third one to make a difference.
Yeah, I don't know if they think in those terms. They just think, wow, Oregon State's a great club. We're going to have to play it well to win. But we've been in that situation now, it seems like, for 3 weeks. So, their deal is all about their preparation, and it's a mature group. They clearly understand that, what level of baseball you have to play in order to have a chance to win a game here.
John, when you shove the 85 and the 90 team in their face, though, that it seems like these kids are smart enough to realize the one thing this program hasn't done is win it all.
Yeah, they know that, too. They know that, too. They know that that's what can separate them from every other team in the history of Mississippi State, and that's the goal. That's been the goal from day one. That's really, we've talked about it a ton. It's a little more difficult to talk about when, a club is 23 and 33 or whatever we were at the time. But, you just keep trying to march forward and knock down some doors. And I think that's what these kids want to do. I think they want to achieve what hasn't been achieved before. But certainly, again, there are other teams in this tournament who feel exactly the same way. And that's what makes it a great event.
When those times were a little bit tough your first 2 years, what were you selling recruits on, the guys that are making the difference right now?
Well, I don't think Mississippi State's difficult to sell even at those times, but I think what you're really selling them on is the fact that you're going to get better, and we're going to put you in a position to get better. You're going to work really hard here. We're going to make sure you get up in the morning and eat breakfast. We're going to make sure you go to class. We're going to make sure that you become a more physical player. You're going to be in the best condition of your life. We really tried to push the fact that if you love the game, there's an old expression that says you don't always necessarily in the recruiting process get who you want, but you always get who you are as a staff. And I think our players represent who we are as a staff. If you're drawn to being totally committed to baseball and working at it every single day, and being passionate about it, then we're the place for you. And I think that's what we've gotten.
You're used to playing teams